The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Tuesday, everybody. Welcome into another episode of the Bostonian versus the Book. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault with you guys live on YouTube and on Twitter at Boston versus the Book. There, Sports Grid TV on the replay. How are you, sir? Welcome to Tuesday. The countdown is on for our shows on Thursday at Circus Sports.
Yes, sir. It's so funny. Every day you come in 1 or 2 seconds late. Like you start talking and then everyone hears you. And I don't know why. That in cue, you're early, the microphone's late, something happens. But
I try to wait, though, for that beat because I know that because I try to wait a beat before the mic goes hot.
I know. And it's
still cuts me off?
Yeah. So every day I hear the something. Tuesday, like I missed the welcome. Where
that's good to know.
Maybe words miss every day.
I'll wait a little longer now. All right.
But every time when you bring it in, and every time I hear the music of the intro, I don't know about you, but the boys and the girls that have been listening to the show for over 400 episodes, it's ingrained in their head.
Mm-hmm.
It puts you in that mood.
Mm-hmm.
The chat lights up.
Mm-hmm.
They go, pay this man his money. And here we go. And the guy did such a great job with the intro. Gets me fired up. It's Tuesday.
It's almost 2 years old.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, the intro is almost 2 years old. That's October. We did that in October of 21.
Yeah. Well, it's working. Everybody's working. Everybody's here. I made the reference in the chat before the show that, we're like banging on the cans, like on the top of a garbage can. Let's go. It's time to go. Roll call. No, it's not roll call Friday. It's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
They took it and ran with it in the chat, which is the funny part of the chat. This is such a big part of the show that we were banging garbage cans, and we're going to play Houston today against the Red Sox.
Oh, it's the Astros. Okay.
Astros.
Okay.
Yeah. They still got
Oscar,
that.
No Oscar the Grouch.
Crunchy Beaver just came in already. Right now, $5. Drop the fin. Crunchy Beaver. Someone needs to tell Matt ish time is within 15 minutes. LMAO.
That was my line. He's stealing my line. That's my line. I told them 15 minutes on either side of the start time on the show is what we do.
Which I thought at 10:30, which we were 10:45. We started. We're 3 minutes in. We're right on the time. Crunchy, what's wrong with that, Crunchy?
It's right. It's right in between 10:30 and we're on 15 minutes on either side. Sometimes we might be early. Most often we're late. And then we're rolling, but 10:45 or 10:30, it's kind of the target demographic. That's our 30-minute window for the show to begin.
We got into a deep discussion about something right before the show started. So I apologize for that. You and I were talking.
Yes.
Which we tend to do before the show, after the show, in between the shows. Sometimes we do it on other shows, like on the Sports Grid. Every once in a while, we're doing that now. We're doing it live at the Circa on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, I'm really excited. This is going to be a lot of fun. Eric's going to be joining us as he's back producing the live show for us. And he should be. I mean, I'm psyched to see him. I haven't seen him in a little while. He's done a lot of really cool things. He was watching us on his brand new mounted TV in his brand new house.
I got to say, that looked pretty good. He sent us that shot of us on this big TV over his fireplace. You did a hell of a job with the overlay, E. This looks pretty damn good. And Perrault making sure that it says like Bostonian versus the Book on this side and that side. The logo's right there. I mean, the graphics are down below. For two old guys, we look pretty good.
He's building, and he's building new graphics like last time. So he's a really talented guy, and it's one of I'm not saying like I teach at UNLV to go mine talent, but it's definitely a benefit of being there because you get to see some really talented young people and talk to them and work with them. And I work with Riley Pay, who was another one who went on to become the play-by-play voice of the Portland Sea Dogs this past summer, which is pretty damn cool. So you see students, come through, and that was 3 years ago. So now they're graduating, moving on. Eric now does a lot of stuff with Wager Talk, which is really nice and cool to see. So, it's a fun deal to kind of bring these young people in, and I'm psyched to start next Monday to get back into teaching and being a part of it. Is there anything else your daughter has to go to for Rebel Ready Week, or is it just yesterday?
Oh, no. This is all 5 days this week.
Oh,
excuse me. Yes, there's activities planned. There's
like fun activities, or
I don't know. You'll understand when they get older. They tell you what they want to tell you, whether you need to know or not.
There.
You're mostly on a need to know basis, and I am on the do not need to know list. That's it. That's what being a dad is of a teenager. That's
interesting.
Literally, I don't know anything. I asked this morning, and I got I'll see you later on the way out the door.
Okay.
And then I asked the boss, I said, is this all week, like the activities? And she said, yes, don't worry about it. Boom, she was out the door. And I hugged my 9-year-old. I said, please don't ever change. Please. I love you. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
So
we had to have a sit down conversation. Isn't it funny how like the kids will just tell you random things? Like it's like you're having a conversation and they blurt something out that you're like, wait, what did you just say? Like, what's going on? Madeline just like blurted out yesterday that like there's some girls at school that chase boys around all the time and she really doesn't like it. And I was like, already? Like we have to have this conversation already?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
No, man. I'm not. She's 9. I'm not ready for that conversation yet.
You ain't ready for half the conversations. I'm just telling you right now. It's Rebel Ready Week. And like, and the way you had dinner with us on Friday. You heard the way the kids talk. I mean, I get to, bro, you're not ready. Like I am ready. I'm 53. I've done all of this. So this is your Rebel Ready Week, but you are not ready at all. I mean,
no.
I had a brief exchange with the 9-year-old yesterday, Kendall, and I just looked at my wife. I said, what did she just say? Like, how are we addressing this? What, and she said it was about something going on in her class or before school.
Yeah.
Boys and girls and this and that. I was like, what the?
I was like, not now. I was like, really? I was like, Madeline. I was like, what? She's like, yeah. She's like, I don't like the 2 girls that chase boys at before class, before recess, before we go in. And I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean chase boys? She's like, they like boys. They chase boys. They want boys' attention.
This is what they don't.
I was like, really?
Yeah.
It's like, you're in the 4th grade. It's like, oh no.
Yep.
I was like, I was like, okay, great. Here we go. I was like, this is going to be the worst 10 years of my life.
Oh,
it's going to be horrible. Like it's over. My innocence, my fun, like,
it's
the worry.
That innocent part of it. Now you got to get in the weeds. Now you got to really just sit there and listen. And like, you got to show that face. Like what you're saying ain't bothering me. Meanwhile, underneath the duck is swimming. Like,
yes.
You're like, oh,
all I hear is shotgun sounds getting in my head. that's all I hear. It's just like going like, who do I have to go talk to, and where does he live?
Yeah. Whitrock just said he's got a 6-year-old. He ain't ready.
No.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy that.
Older.
I love 6, 7, 8 was awesome. I love Madeline at 6, 7, 8 was so great.
Best.
9 has already sent me down a road that I'm like, okay, 4th grade. I mean, frankly, school.
Listen, Daddy Perrault, you made her walk to school. I mean,
I didn't make her do anything. She walked. No. I didn't know that was her. Julia wanted to walk to school. She just wanted to walk with her. But I didn't say no. I want her to do that stuff. I want her to start to, she needs it. She's very clingy for a kid, and I have no problem with that. But like, I don't know. My brother's kids are like that. Madeline's like that. It must be the way we raise our kids or something, because like and it's not a bad thing. They want to be around us. And like my brother's kids want to be around them all the time. And Madeline wants to be around adults all the time. She wants to be around their parents all the time.
For now. Enjoy it. Yeah, for now.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, my niece and nephew.
As soon as they get a car, bye-bye. That's it.
Well, yeah, that's.
Peace out.
Yeah. We'll see
Just
how
make sure the gas tank is filled. That's all. And,
we'll see
hey,
how that
can you
goes.
throw me 20? I'm going to go have lunch with my friends.
Oh God, that's going to be something else to deal with. But yeah, I mean,
It's
I don't
hard
know.
enough to try to just, pick the winner of like the Astros and the Red Sox game, and then do the podcast, or, go over or under the Cardinals and Pirates game today and then do the podcast. Being a parent, and now you're on your own half the time with the kid. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of people watching the show in the same boat, man. Like it's a job. And as long as you
100%.
keep it that way, I used to say that all the time to my wife, and she was like, "Why do you say it's a job? If they're your kids." And I'm like, "It's a job. Like we have an
Responsible.
obligation,
Yeah.
responsibility
Yeah.
to be their parents. There's times we can be their friends. There's other times we have to be the parent, and they don't know anything." Now, granted, there's a lot of parents that don't know anything either.
No, that's true. But I mean, like the school year for us, like I don't know how Kendall's school load, but Madeline's homework load has changed dramatically. Like we got, oh my God, yeah. She's an hour a night minimum of homework. Like I was reading. I was like, she has 20 minutes of math, 20 minutes of English, and 20 minutes of reading every single day minimum. That's just a minimum she has to do. And then there's other stuff she has to do on top of that. I was like, I looked at her. I was like, "You ready?" I was like, "This isn't a game anymore." I was like, "You're not coming home and like dropping your book bag and running outside going, bye, I'm going to play. Like, you got to work."
And we have the exact opposite. We have a teacher who says these kids are so overworked and overextended in activities and stuff. I'm going to do everything in this classroom to make sure they have no homework. She's from Philadelphia. She is an old school, like she's not old. She's an old school, like you will pay attention to everything. I have you for 6 hours here.
Okay.
We're going to be focused here for 6 hours so you can go do a lot of other things when you're out of here.
Oh.
We went to open house and I was like, wow, hello. Okay. Because we've been buried that way for third grade was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And she'll have enough and all the gifted stuff. So that was great.
Again, because Madeline's got she's got that. She's on like the 4th grade version of AP, so she has a thing called Gate. So she has that homework, and then she'll have.
Were you in Gate as a kid?
No,
you weren't.
It didn't even exist when I was in elementary school. I'd never heard of gifted and talented education.
Yeah,
that's what Gate stands for. I never heard of Gate before they said Madeline's going into Gate, and I was like, "What do you mean she's going into Gate? What the hell is that?"
You were in the wrong classes.
Yeah, not in elementary school.
I got tested. Really? I got tested in kindergarten and started in 2nd grade, did it my whole high school career.
Yeah, the end of
it was fascinating.
Didn't offer that. It was never AP stuff. We got at the high school, we had AP stuff, and we had those classes that we got into, which I sure as hell weren't in.
They were probably testing you for other things than the Gate program.
No, my IQ was fine. Thank you very much. I was on. They thought I was going to be like. I tested out of like 5 things when I was in middle school.
I'm thinking they were testing you for other stuff. You start telling stories about what you were doing. They were probably testing you for other stuff.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I would have failed. I would have failed most of those tests. So if anytime I pee in the cup, it's like, do what? That's not good.
What came up?
What are we doing? You got to do what? Oh yeah, no, we're not taking that test.
Oh geez, I just looked down in the chat. I apologize. I'm trying to keep track of all the chat and all the time, and you guys are doing an unbelievable job with this super chat thing. Seriously. I apologize. I must have missed a couple yesterday, but Big Business just came in and said with a nice yellow stripe. It all makes sense. Texas and Houston poo-poo on themselves, and now South Texas gets smoked with a tropical storm. So he's going through some stuff down there. Crunchy. He's back, 53. Goodness, I know what to send Dave for Christmas. Depends.
Oh, damn.
That's a low blow, Crunchy.
Whoa.
I still can make it to the bathroom, but, as you get over 50, you get these wake-up calls in the middle of the night. You don't know why you wake up, and then you realize, oh,
I got to go.
I got to go to the bathroom.
I got to go.
So I could sleep in it. Depends.
Oh.
Did you ever wear one of those?
No, stop it. We're not talking about this. Stop.
Why?
I'm not having this conversation on this show right now. No.
You never wear no Depends? No.
Why would I ever? No. I'm 46. What? If you do have questions, by the way, we were talking about this last night a little bit. We're going to try to figure this out a little bit. But if you guys have questions or topics you want us to discuss, you can put it in the super chat and we'll
Yes.
get to it in bonus time. We're going to try to
Correct.
figure out how we're going to do that. But like, if there's a big topic, you guys like to tag us, a bunch of you tag us on Twitter, like, guys, talk about this today. Well,
Yeah.
a way of, if you're in the chat, a way of doing that, if you send a super chat, I don't care what the money is, you send a super chat and then we'll see it and then we'll address it during bonus time. So just heads up
Right.
on that. As we go to football season, we can't talk about every game. We can't talk about every situation. We can't talk about every strategy. But if you have one and you're like, hey, should I tease first quarter, blah, 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 with blah, 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 like whatever you may come up with, if you super chat it and you put it up there, we may not get to it during the sports grid portion of it, but we'll get to it during bonus time during football season.
Blah, 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 blah. What kind of teaser is that?
I don't know, just whatever, get ready for Wong teasers, boys and girls. They're back. I can't wait. And by the way, my teaser would have hit last night. If you had teased that game, that would have hit last night.
It would have worked. I thought of that.
It would have hit. You would have had a no sweat. Don't worry about it. Didn't matter what happened. That kick made it or missed it. You were good.
Well, no, because you said to tease it down and go over, right?
Yeah, flew over.
Right. No, I couldn't remember if you said over
or
under.
Yeah, no, I said go over. It said tease down to 31.5 because both games had gone over 31. And for both the Ravens and the Commanders, and then take the total and go on the side and go from 1.5 to 7.5, and you're good. So that would have hit.
Our moderators in the chat, they have the blue wrench.
Yes.
Addison, Sonic are asking the question: did we just alienate Depends as a sponsor?
Yes.
Depends is out.
Depends is out. I'm totally good with that. Although if we're gonna go in that part of the body, Trojan to sponsor this show. So if you want to go with that,
title shots on the BVB, baby.
Like if you want that, like if we're gonna go that to the urology part of the program, like we're going to go and we're going there. Like that's those sponsors. Come on, we want that part of the body, not the other part of the body. Come on. Things coming out, we want that way, not that way. So always forward, never backwards.
What are Blue Chews, by the way? Do you know what they are? Blue Chews?
Blue Chews are the new version of Viagra that is everywhere with very young and bouncy girls on Twitter. That if you're between the ages of like 25 and 54, you've probably seen in your Twitter feed or your X feed.
It never stops in my Twitter feed.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I'm angry about it. I mean, it's actually a pretty nice campaign, but it's not, I mean, I don't need it. I don't use it, but like, I never knew what it was until I saw this girl bouncing. I was like, oh, hi. Okay. I was like, now we know what Blue Chew is. Good, effective marketing. That's pretty good. So
BVB and the
blue pill.
There's another
BVB blue pills.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many opportunities there for and I guess we got guys that might need it.
Of course. Nothing wrong with it. No, it's nothing wrong with that. It's a very common thing and it's right. Very, very common.
I don't know what it was. I thought it has to be something like that.
It's a one pill chew thing. I guess that's what they call it, blue chew, but I don't know. I don't know why it's having a weird name, but
it's not a gummy. Like you're not taking a Blue Chew and going to the movies. You know what I'm saying? It's not like one of those. No. It's not like a candy.
That sounds like fun though.
At the ball game.
I think other type of gummy going to the movies. I thought we were going to go see like, a fun movie. Although I've heard I need to go see Barbie because I've heard that movie on a certain type of substance is pretty wild. But anyways,
really,
people have had fun watching Barbie.
Gorov, 1-star Gorov said BV Blue Chew.
BV Blue Chew.
Yeah, just all one word. BV Blue Chew.
Headline. I just have to read this. Headline. Mike Francesa. YouTube is going to be huge. I love you, Mike.
He just found out. He did?
Oh, Mike. I love Mike and the Mad Dog is why I'm in this business. So I love Mike and Chris, but like
did you get an alert for that? Like
Jurassic Park called and said that things here are gonna go extinct. Like,
wow.
What are you doing, man? YouTube's gonna be huge. Really?
Can you believe those guys didn't talk to each other for 5 months and did a show every day together?
Yes, 100%. I've had those situations. I told you last night. I've had relationships like that in this business. Yes. It's not unusual. You walk in, you sit down, you open the mic, and you talk. Mic's off, you don't talk to each other. I've told the story of Michael Felger. I did a week with radio with Michael Felger. Michael Felger did not talk to me during the commercial breaks, he was so mad that they were making him work with me on ESPN 980 in Boston,
Right.
because they were auditioning different co-hosts, and he didn't want any of them, so they brought me in to audition to be his co-host, and he didn't talk to me when the mics are off. That's why I do not care for Michael Felger at all. He's extremely talented.
Doesn't that make you either know, like if I don't know who you are and we're thrown together,
Yep.
I need to talk to you during the break to find out who you are. If there's any way we can connect to actually,
he didn't want it to
talk during
work. That's the
show.
thing. He was being told I was a Boston kid from Omaha, Nebraska. I was working in Omaha. He was from Milwaukee. So he was trying to justify his position in the Boston media. He'd been working, if you guys know how Felger started, from the Big Show, Glenn Ordway's show. He was a contributor to that show. He wanted to be a talent. He was a beat writer for the Boston Bruins, and he wanted to do stuff. So they thought he could be a talent, and they put him on, and they were auditioning him with a variety of different people. And he was pissed off that he was working with this 28-year-old kid that was there auditioning for this. And I'll never forget. He told me, he goes, when the mics are on, I'll talk to you. When the mics are off, I'm not talking to you.
And he was how much older than you?
Probably 7 years of me. It's like probably like mid-30s at the time.
At any point did you go,
you're a fucking asshole?
I was going to say, excuse me, who the fuck are you?
Yes. In my head, but I'm trying to get a job, right? So like, this is like a dream for me. I'm working in the Midwest. I've worked in Virginia, Alabama, in Nebraska.
Right. So you're coming home.
And I'm coming home to audition to do this, an ESPN 980 in Boston. This is before the Sports Hub. So I'm auditioning for a job that would be in competition with WEI, my dream station, but I'm going to go compete against them.
Okay.
They brought it in, and it was like, who the hell are you? And I couldn't believe it, but I've seen hosts that are like that. They don't talk to their co-hosts. They don't want to work with their co-hosts. Those guys were really, really tight. But over the years, I mean, there were marriages that came and went. There were problems that came and went. They just had too much scar tissue between the two of them. I mean, the story that Mike Francis told to Barstool was that they went on vacation, and he basically said, when I come back, it's either me or him.
Right.
I'm not working with him anymore. You pick. And they were like, what do you mean we pick?
Right.
Most successful, longest running, most profitable sports radio show in history got killed because of ego.
I get it, but I don't. And there's people that are in this space that will never get it.
No.
I've been in those situations just in the past couple of years, like doing shows and stuff and not knowing, like I'll show up on a show, not anything specific, somewhere else. And like, I'm like, who is this person? And the person on the other end behind the glass or somewhere else is testing them with me. And I'm like, okay, I'm the test dummy. Like I'm the guinea pig. If you can talk to Dave, then I guess you can talk, either to anybody, or we want to see how Dave reacts to you, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, all right. So that's why I always try to get to know people, because I think that puts you in a very awkward position. So I can't believe.
Just be a good person. Just be nice.
Just say, oh, what are you trying to do? Okay. And so many people can't get out of their own.
It's just typical Boston. It was my first real introduction. I'd been working for so long in, smaller Midwest and Southern markets where people weren't like that it was my first real slap in the face as to like the Boston media market is absolutely toxic. It is really difficult to have a life. It's difficult to live because everyone is looking out for the guy with the knife to stab you in the back.
Right. It ain't like the place we're in is much different.
It is different because we answer to each other, and that's it.
Well, no, this show is different because of that. It took us, you 46 years, me 53 years to get to this point. And I thank God every day because, we had to go through the struggles, the trials, the tribulations. We're still going through it every day. I think one of the strengths of our show is that when one of us is going through something, we kind of share it and we go, so we help each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people like that and come in the chat because they're going through something. We got our one guy who's who's down in that treatment place, I'm texting with him every day. He
Nice.
wakes up and texts me something every day, and he's turning people on to the show,
Nice.
not for our gambling picks,
Mm-mm.
because it makes him feel good, and other people find that and gravitate towards it. I mean, so there's way more to all of this in life. And like you've told me stories of people in this space and or just your experiences. And I'm like, people do that, and you get a kick out of me being raw in it or young in this media space. Because I just asked the question, what the fuck is your problem? Right? Like, sorry, Will, but like,
yeah. It's the best. It's the best when you ask somebody in the media a question that needs to be asked, and they act like you just like asked them for their firstborn child or something. They can't figure out why you just asked them that question, because like, how could you ask me that question? Like, what do you mean? Like, huh? The way the hair on the back of their neck stand up, and how they're like a cat. When a cat gets scared, the cat like goes and arches its back.
Yeah.
Like, people in the media are like, what do you mean? Like, why are you asking that question? I don't like, it's awesome. It's so fun to watch, going like, whoa, they weren't ready for that question.
The experience in LA really opened my eyes to a lot of things, but we had such a good time in LA, and Pat and the boys, Gump, Diggs, everybody came on the show. Our clips from that week were just fantastic. And thanks again. Perrault was there and did it, put it all together. You guys can go back and find those archived. We've clipped them. We should reclip them and put them up again, just whatever, because Gump is back and things are happening. But I was walking by someone in the bathroom, and they looked at me, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And I called him by name, and he stopped. He was washing his hands. And he said, "Hey," I said, "I know who you are." I said, "You do a good job." I said, "You want to come on our show? Let me know." And I walked out. I didn't wait for the answer because I knew he was going to say no. I knew he was going to say I can't. And I meant what I said. Our stipulation to come on the show is, can you fit it in the time we're doing the show? If you can't, then we can move a little bit of our stuff around. We will. And it's me and you. So either you don't like them or I don't like them, and we're pretty much come on the show. So I knew, and I walked out and I told you, and you're like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'll ask again." So I saw him again the next day. I said, "Hey, we're good. We're right over there. We can come we'll tape it when you, all right, I'll let you know." Never heard from him again.
Of course not.
It's amazing. People, man.
I told you, I have a mental list of people who've done that to me. There's not many names on it, but there's a list of people that one day they will ask to come on the show, and I will respectfully but happily say, "You're joking, right?" Like, you're not coming on this show. Like, it ain't happening. So, when that time comes, yeah. Oh, back then it was different back then. Now you guys are doing ... Oh, okay. So what? So now, I've said it before. I've said it to you, said on air, off air. If you're not interested in being with us on first base, I sure as fuck I'm not interested in you when I round third. I have no need for you. Either you see what we're doing and you get what we're doing and you want to be along for the ride, that's great. But you ain't being the third base coach giving me a slap on the butt as I round third. Ain't happening. Sorry. That is not happening. You are not going to be a part of it and not going to try to be celebratory or, "Oh, the show was phenomenal, blah, blah, blah." Right. So when I asked you in Phoenix to come on the show and you told me you're going to come on the show and you looked right in the eye and said, "Okay, yeah, I'll be by tomorrow," and then you never come by. Or you don't even acknowledge me next time when you walk by and I watch you walk by and you walk by our broadcast studio and you don't acknowledge it, that you said you'd come on. That goes in the mental. That's there. That's now, ching, you're on the list. Okay.
Right up there.
Bye-bye.
You keep it in the front or the back where you keep it? Where do you keep it?
It's in the back of my head. It's not in the front because it's not really a pressing matter. It only matters when your name comes up. And when the name comes up, then it's, Oh, now. Okay. So, so now
That
we're big
voice, when you do that, I can't lie. I get so excited. I'm like, oh, they got the Perrault. They struck the
Yeah.
Perrault chord.
Yeah,
And that's
you
when I
got
just
me.
get the
Oh,
listening glasses and watch you go to work.
okay. Yeah. And
Ah,
this industry and this
ah.
business is chewing up and spitting out so many people right now.
Oh, I'll go.
And it's
Dude.
tough. It
Dang.
sucks because I've said, like I've said to you before, I'll say it on the air, that I think a lot of people are going to follow what we're doing. I think a lot of people in this business want. Now, frankly, you got to have a good show. Okay, you got to have something people want.
Isn't that the cornerstone of
It
the whole
is.
thing?
It's the beginning of the whole thing. It's
Right.
Is your show good or not? People like it. Are they
Yeah.
there? Are they watching you? Okay.
Right.
People come here and stay for 45 minutes at a pop and just watch us on YouTube. That's extremely rare.
Yeah.
But you have to realize that the industry has always been full of sharks, but now it is just great white territory at all costs, and everyone's lying. Everyone's trying to save their own skin. They're all trying to get into a lifeboat, and they're kicking Jack off the floating door.
They're kicking what?
Kicking Jack, Titanic, off the door.
You said kicking Jack off.
Oh, sorry.
You give me shit when I say stuff. You said they're kicking Jack off, and I just went.
Sorry, that's not intentional.
I'll get you to say it again.
Entirely not
kicking
intentional.
Jack
Sorry.
off.
Pause. Not hyphen. Not a hyphen word. What? 2 words.
Is that 2 words or one?
Sorry, that was not intentional. That was completely Freudian slip. But that is the issue that a lot of people have. They're trying to save their own skin because the water's really damn cold.
Freezing. The water's cold. It's deep. You can't. It's murky. You can't see stuff. I just come in a big scuba suit, big tank. I'll stay down there and breathe all day. It don't matter to me. I'll swim over here. I'll swim over there. I got one of them shark repellent things on it because they ain't coming at me. And if they do, I just look at them and like, what do you want? I'll swim with you. Like, we ain't looking for enemies.
Mm-mm.
We're really not. I used
to. 100%.
Yeah, maybe you've taught.
I hunted it for. I
much better about that now. Like, wait,
yeah, I was taught. It's how I was taught. I mean, I was, not to make excuses for myself, but I was raised in a time in the late 90s where bomb throwing media was what we were supposed to do. The more people I pissed off, the better my career got. The more markets I had, the bigger the market.
Right.
The more angry. I mean, I worked from, I was a ladder climbing personality.
Yep.
I went from market 212 to market 125 to market 78 to market 74 to market 8. Kansas City was 25. So then 25 and then 8. So I went to, but the way I got there was by pissing people off.
Right.
So like when you're rewarded for financially and for a career for pissing people off, you piss people off both online and offline, just on air and off air. So I was a different person. My daughter being born changed everything. I realized that I didn't want that negative attention anymore. I didn't want it on her more than me.
Right.
I didn't want this kid growing up when people walking around being like, your dad's an asshole. I didn't want that.
I'll never forget big person in the softball world. Her name's Jen Schroeder.
Yeah.
Jen Schro. She's done some media work. She had a batting cages. She has this huge catcher's retreat. It's amazing. We took the kids, and I met her dad. She's doing stuff with the kids. She's got, Amanda Scarborough and all these people are there. And it's me talking to her dad. He's the dad of 4 daughters, 3 of which played NCAA Division I softball.
Wow.
He's a cop.
Oh.
He's seen a lot in his years, and he's sitting there watching Jen thrive in this business. She has a huge batting cages. She has, charges $1,000 a kid for 3-day softball camp and all this other stuff. And I'm interested to how he's doing. Or, I said, hey, how is it when these kids grow up? Because mine were still, 10 and 12 or something. And, you got all these girls, and told me, man, when they go to college, they grow up a lot. They don't come back the same. And I was like, oh, wow. We had a really good heart-to-heart talk. And then he goes, what do you do, Dave? I said, I work in a sports book. He goes, what does that mean? I He said, I make numbers and, take bets. He goes, so you're a bookie? Kind of. I mean, and he goes, is that a skill? Like, is that what you want to do the rest of your life? Is that something your kids like, did they look up to you? And I was like, well, he came at me pretty hard. And I was like, well, I said, there's a skill to it. And yes, there's, the better you are at it, ideally, the more you make. But like, it's like being a cop, right? I mean, you punch in and out, you see bad, you see good. And, he immediately like made it like I was a piece of shit.
Oh, whoa.
In his initial conversation. And then we talked and he was like, oh, that sounds really interesting, and turned the whole conversation around. Cause I think he had that cop mentality. He's probably busted people. He's probably seen the perils of gambling and all these other things. Like I was trying to think, why did he flip that switch so fast when I told him what I did? Because I used to use the line and I still use it. Jess was a pharmacist and I worked in a sports book. So the kids had a drug dealer and a bookie as parents in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And
all legal though, but yes.
Well, it was all legal, of course, but
right.
Where else can you say that in Vegas and you get a perception? That's what we said. So the roundabout story is that, the moral of the story is that people can have their perceptions and thoughts and want to create enemies. Come on the show. I think everyone that's come on the show has left going,
that was fun.
There's something there. There's something there with that show. And like you guys have, between the Twitter and the Discord and all this other stuff and just liking and watching the show and growing the YouTube channel.
Hell,
we're going this way.
We're in the hats. Do you know how many people in our industry go, what the hell are those guys doing? They're getting their audience. Their audience is wearing their hat.
Yeah.
And they're looking for other ways to wear other and more stuff. How can they do it?
Got people coming and signing up to do the contest just because we're doing that. Like, I don't know, like we may have been for a handful of people that are hesitant to do the contest and didn't know how it worked.
Well, I know for a fact, there's a guy who we signed up last week who told me that exact thing.
Yeah.
Said, I was on the fence and I trust you guys. So I said, all right, let's do it.
Let's go.
Like,
let's go.
100%.
Yeah.
People are thinking about doing it, but they're like, I don't know. Who am I? I'm going to meet some random person in Vegas. They're going to put my picks in. I don't know who they are. I trust you guys. That's great.
It's so true.
It's phenomenal. So
Bear Mollings just came in the chat and said, Dave, I never tell people I'm a table games dealer / pit boss. I tell them I'm in the adult entertainment industry.
Phenomenal.
You have to use that one.
That is a phenomenal line. Keep using that. Their faces would be great. They'd be like, which one? What do you mean, which one? Like peppermint rhino, peppermint hippo, spearmint rhino. Like which one? Not that one. I'm a gambler. Well, wait, what?
Oh God.
Bartenders are adult entertainment too. I mean, that's, you can do a lot of people fall into that category. That's tremendous.
Oh, I love it.
All right. Washington ended the Ravens 24-game win streak in preseason last night.
Yes.
Do not tell me that did not matter to both teams.
Oh,
that was unbelievable. They were taking timeouts to put up strategy, to look at formations. The Ravens and Harbaugh coached that like it was a regular season game with scrubs, but still, they were very interested in keeping that thing alive. Last second field goal hit for the Commanders. They were very happy. The owner was on the sidelines jumping up and down like he won a real game.
Mm-hmm.
Washington was very happy. All the fans that were there wanted that streak to end. They were staying just for that reason.
Yep.
I had to laugh because Joe Buck and Troy Aikman that was probably the biggest fourth quarter audience they've ever had on ESPN for a preseason game. Like people were literally stuck on that watching it. And Aikman was like, Troy was like, you could tell he wanted no part of this. And Joe Buck was like trying to coax him into the idea of like, hey, there's a lot of people watching right now. Like, we're not done. We need to like stay locked in here because people want to see whether or not this streak is going to end or not.
Right.
Washington got it done. They cashed on a last second field goal. It was one of the more fun games I've watched ever in preseason.
Yeah.
I know you didn't watch second of it, but it was fun.
I didn't watch 1 second of it. Full disclosure.
It was
I
fun.
saw the highlights. I saw it. I mean, did it matter because it turned out to be a good game? Right?
Well,
Like,
no,
I mean,
it matters
if it's a-
because the streak was a
if
chance.
it's
I
a
mean,
blowout.
it was fun. I mean, Ravens were up by 8. Great drive
Yep.
by Washington. They score a touchdown.
Yep.
2-point play happens. This kid, this 5th-round draft pick cornerback makes a hell of a tackle at the goal line to keep Washington from tying the game to 28-26. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, there's no way. There was about 3 or 4 minutes left in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They get a well, first it was 21-20, interception to Jacoby Brissett, touchdown Ravens, and then they went down and scored 28-26. Don't get the 2-point conversion. They punt 3 and out, essentially like a quick drive, so they get the ball back with like 2:40 to play in the game and all 3 timeouts. And it was, a bunch of 5th string, 6th string guys out there going, okay, can they go and drive down to get into field goal range? And that was high drama. Like, it was a good kick return, and then it was a good drive. It was a 4th down play where a flag came out to extend the drive. Pass interference call on the Ravens, which was like...
Stop you real quick. The guys in the chat are figuring out where they live and how to get hats. DM the show at Boston versus the book on the Twitter, or DM Matt at Sports Talk. Matt, my DMs are closed at Sports BK Consig. DM them what you want for the hat. Might be something working for Labor Day weekend. If we can get you a hat, figure out how to get it to you.
This is all news to me.
What
are we doing?
They're in the chat trying to figure out, like in Iowa City or in some places where they can go to get hats made.
Can't. You only get it made here.
Like right now, not the hats we're wearing. You can go and, like, JC from KC's trying to design his own hat and all this other stuff. What you guys do on your own, that's fine.
Yeah, it's not going to be this logo though.
It's not going to be this. Like, it's so I will get you a hat specifically made with colors.
Hold on, but we've got things going on. Like, we've got.
I know.
Just
I know. I'm just trying to tell them.
Calm down, everybody. Hats. I know you guys want the hats. Right. We got plans for things.
Yeah.
We have an announcement probably Monday about that. So, like, just calm down.
Yeah, that's the other thing about. I mean, it's a fun thing is it's me and you doing the show, but we still got other people, like, with some other things that we got to be careful. Like, I was so excited to say something yesterday, and I'm glad you put the brakes on it, because I was ready to just throw it out there. So,
ask. I always got to ask.
Jerseys. People want BVB jerseys. How the hell are we going to design a jersey, Perrault?
What's the color? The question would be the color scheme. You can put BVB logo on this on the sleeves, but what's the color scheme? Because here's the thing: like this logo right here, like that logo right there.
Yeah.
That's the OG. Okay, that's the original logo.
That is the original logo. Yes. Okay?
And then we did this. You did that. You did that. Right, yeah, and like there's all different thousands of iterations of the logo.
Yeah.
So, what colors are you going to do? Yeah, there's that, and because originally there's 2 different colored Bs. We started to combine the same color B.
Right.
That's been the new change to it.
Right.
But there's 4 colors on the logo.
The original. Yeah.
And so, like, what do you do? What's the main color for the jersey? Is it red? Is it blue? Is it black?
I don't know.
But yes, BVB. We got that.
Look at this.
That looks awesome. The original logo on a white helmet looks phenomenal.
Yeah. So we get like maybe a blue jersey to go with the white helmet. I don't know. We got people to talk to. We got meetings again today. We're working on it right now. So again, we appreciate you guys asking. We're going to get them in your hands, and we're going to get them out there as soon as we can. We're efforting to, 1, keep breathing and stay alive before football season starts, and 2, make sure that when we do a show, we do a quality show every single day. That's our 2 goals right now, every day. Not Patriot colors, Jimmy Jack.
Oh, it can be. Sure. Why not?
Nope.
That red jersey and the blue, and you can absolutely 100% you can do Patriot colors.
The red jersey, I'll sign off on. That's not bad. Yeah. No Elvis.
No flying Elvis. I agree with that. Yeah. Kill flying Elvis. I agree. Diamondbacks have won 8 of 10, 3 in a row.
Back, baby.
Can they make the playoffs?
Oh, hell yeah, they can. Baseball season has so many ebbs and flows. They went through.
They were dead, Dave. But they were dead.
They were dead. Done. Finished.
After the All-Star break, they couldn't beat anybody. Done. They were done.
Done.
And they flip the
Finished.
switch. All of a sudden, they're red hot.
8-10. That's all it takes. And 8-2 in August. That turns the month around. I mean, then it's only the 22nd. If they win 8 of their next 10 as well, you know, I mean, the Texas Rangers had them last night, and Chapman gave up a bomb in the 9th with 2 out to Marte and tied it. And then they scored 2 runs to go up 3-1, and the Diamondbacks found a way to score 3 runs in the bottom, and the game went 4-3. It's a hell of a baseball game I was watching, and I had Texas. I was a little bit aggravated, but things happen. Hell yeah, they can. What we as bettors and people on the outside don't know is they are just going to work every day. They never thought they were done. Never. And they're still in it. I mean, they're more in it. Playoffs back on for them more than San Diego.
100%. 100%.
Right.
They're 5.5 games out of a playoff spot. They're 1.5 games out. D-backs are right there.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I gave baseball credit preseason about, okay, they're trying to do some changes to keep the game flowing and moving. The shift has been great. I don't think the bases matter all that much, even though the stolen bases are up.
Stolen bases are up, man.
I know, but I think it has more to do with the fact that pitchers can't throw over versus the bases being larger.
That's a huge part of it.
I think the fact that you can't, the disengagement rule, I think, is a much more significant thing. And come the playoffs, we have to talk about this later, because the playoffs, the fact, I can't tell you how many times watching a Red Sox Yankees either playoff game or major game in September where the pitcher just throws over to the base like 8 times. It just holds the ball.
Thank God we don't have to do that anymore.
Well, that's going to change the game. That's going to be very different. There's going to be...
Wait, that rule is not going to be instituted in the playoffs?
No, it is in the playoffs. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
Why?
Because I think you changed the game dramatically. Think about it. If I know
doing it all season and then you're just not going to do it in the playoffs?
Did you just give me... That's the goddamn Ghost Runner rule. You just walked into it. That's my point.
For the extra innings in overtime, it's same in hockey with the shootout.
You just said,
wait a minute, end the game.
You just said if we're going to do it the whole regular season, we're not going to do it in the playoffs. Agreed. I agree with that.
Overtime rules for all the sports are silly. Like you do the overtime rules in the regular season for the NFL, you don't do it in the playoffs. What are you talking about?
I mean, the overtime rule, the only difference in the NFL is that both teams can touch the football. That's the only difference. And I agree with that. That's dumb too. But the Ghost Runner is dumb and it shouldn't exist. Shootouts are dumb. They shouldn't exist. You want to say both teams touch the ball in regular season football? I'm down with that too. I'm down with that. But no, I think they should get rid of that rule. Yes, I think in the playoffs, they should not have a disengagement rule for pitchers, because once you throw over twice, goodbye.
Strategically make you know when to throw over. That's all.
Which I can't wait to see it.
Listen, I like the way baseball's being played right now. I think they got everything pretty much right. I'm good with it. Let it go.
I don't like the schedule. Only I don't like the 13 games against.
I know you said that yesterday. I mean,
that's the only thing.
Did you watch back the show? Did you see your math head working while did you watch that part of the show? I watched it and I almost pissed myself. I should have got the pens while I was watching it. You went like this. Like your eyes went a little bit up in the air, and like you were thinking, you're like, "Oh, wait, oh." It was so funny. You didn't say a word, but I heard you.
It was going through my brain, going, "Oh, yeah, that's right. 4 teams, 13 games times 4. Okay, right. Yeah, all right. Yeah, now I get it." Okay.
Guys in the chat, girls in the chat, again, welcome. Thank you for being here. Do the Diamondbacks make the playoffs? Yes or no? What do you think more people are going to say, Perrault?
Yes, and I'm going to say no.
Oh. You got it right there. Playoffs back on, question mark. You're a no?
I can answer the question. I'm telling you no. I don't think it will be. No, I think they're hot right now. I think they're cool off.
Well, somebody came in and said both them and the Giants make it. Is that a 2-game parlay you would make? The Giants? No. I think it's one or the other, is it not?
Yeah, I think the Giants will make it. I don't think the Diamondbacks will.
Huh.
I think the Phillies are in.
The Phillies are going to make it.
Phillies are in. The Giants are in. And then we'll see the Cubs, Reds, Marlins, Diamondbacks. A lot of teams in that third.
I don't think
card
there's
spot.
a chance in hell that the Giants and the Diamondbacks both make it. It's got to be one or the other. The
Well, 'cause
Diamondbacks
they
catch
play
the
each other
Giants
in
for
September,
that
so
spot. Like,
they're
no,
playing.
no. Yes, one-star Gorov said yes. No, pessimistic homer. Even Sonic is a pessimistic homer. That sounds like somebody I'd know. Looking right at him every day. Talk to him for 2 hours a day.
That's in
minimum.
my blood. It's a
It is in
Puritan.
your blood.
It's a Puritan blood.
No. Wow. Not one. No. Negative. Of course, Covey came in and said the Fish are making it.
Oh,
wow.
I think Covey's wrong at all on that. Marlins have got a really good shot at making the playoffs. They really do. All they need to do is score 4 to 5 runs a game, and they should make it.
Right.
Their offense has just got to be productive. If it's even a little bit productive.
So, let's see. Diamondbacks to make the playoffs right now.
Plus 200.
They don't have it.
No.
Up. Why wouldn't you keep to make the playoffs up? I mean, that's silly.
They're worried about September 1st call-ups?
Come on.
I don't know. I was asking.
That's terrible. Put that stuff up. I mean, you could take bets on this. Hold on. Maybe no, I don't see it to reach the NLCS.
You see your team bring up Skeens to AA now?
Did they really?
Yeah. They're going to do what I thought they're going to do. I think he'll come up. I think they'll probably give him 2 starts.
This season?
Yeah. After September 1st. But
yeah.
They won't start the clock, I don't believe.
No. Oh.
So I think he'll have a chance to come up.
A start in September at home against the Yankees would be tremendous.
He's going to be on the big league roster next year, guaranteed. So, he's already at AA. So, they're moving him up quick, as they should. Bring him up in September, give him a start end of the year. See what he does.
Padres are heating up. JC from KC. You think the Padres make it? What?
I don't, but the Padres are the only team of the ones we're talking about right now with a positive run differential. I don't think the Diamondbacks have one, but I know the Marlins don't. I know the Reds don't. Cubs do, I believe. Padres do. Just to give you what their offense is capable of doing. Marlins are still great in 1-run games, but I don't know. I think the Diamondbacks are hot right now. I don't think it continues. I think they'll cool off. I say no.
This Cubs stretch coming up, called it yesterday here on the show. They made it interesting. They were up big, and then they let the Tigers back in, and I was sweating out of that. But we did it. That was my better to book it, and we called it right. They're going to win. They may win 8 of their next 10 as of yesterday. No, the Cubs.
Oh, yeah.
Which would make them in and one of those 3 teams we said out. It's fascinating. The NL wildcard race.
Yeah, we got 5 weeks left. It's gonna be fun to watch and see how it all shakes out. Is James Harden playing for Philly next year? He got fined $100,000 for going to China, the place that literally hates Daryl Morey more than any other country on the planet. When Daryl Morey said "Free Hong Kong," that literally started an international incident. Daryl Morey did. So James Harden goes over there and says that the GM of the team is a liar. James Harden then clarified the comment, saying that he was told if he opted in, they would quickly trade him, which Daryl Morey said he never said.
Oh.
And so he gets a $100,000 fine. What's the trade market for James Harden? Who in the world wants this guy on their team?
If you had a team, would you want him?
No.
Guys in the chat, if it was your team, would you want him? I think the answer is pretty much no.
No.
At what point do you go, I don't know who to believe in the whole thing, because I believe that he told him, yeah, sign. And this is where, again, people have agents, people have people talking for them and all that other stuff. I'm sitting in a room with him. So when he tells me later that he didn't say that, I can say, I was sitting in a room with you, or I was on a call with you, and I heard you say it. That's how I feel like I don't think Harden made it up.
No, but he probably said, look, opt in and we'll do our best to trade you. No team's going to say, I guarantee you I'll trade you. You got to find a trade partner. You can't do that. He just heard what he wanted to hear. He heard it.
You sign and we'll trade you.
Yes, that's what he heard, but he didn't hear it. This is the way he was phrased. I doubt any GM would say that with a straight face. James Harden on anyone's team, this is my face or anyone's face when James Harden goes to your team. That's your face. Okay. So James Harden gets traded to your team. That's the face you're making. You're like, wait, what? Why? Why is James Harden on my team?
We need to use that all. This is one of my new favorite things you've done when you just pop it on. It makes me laugh. We were looking for the Titans one, yesterday when we talking to Mac about the Titans coming to Pittsburgh. And I said, where's that Titan guy? That big blue thing, whatever he was.
The other reaction is all this is like Philadelphia fans' reaction now to this, to having James Harden. That's the
For those of you that are on the audio, you need to listen. That's the Cleveland Browns AI developed character logo guy. Oh my gosh. Will he be traded from Philly?
No, because nobody wants him.
So how does he play?
He doesn't. They're probably deactivate. I mean, his career might be over. I don't know. I mean, this is. I have no clue. James Harden is a ticking time bomb on any roster, and he just destroys everywhere he goes now.
It's no good.
Nope.
Like you can't have this on a successful team.
Nope. You
just can't have it. So somebody either got to police the room and say, do you want to play with us or not? Like, do you want to play or not?
In the league, forget Philly. Do you want to play in the league?
Well, no, I'm just talking about Philadelphia first. Listen, you've been in locker rooms. I used to go in locker rooms all the time. The best teams police themselves. The coach don't have to say nothing.
Yeah,
there's 2 or 3 guys on a team that they know not to cross. I used to go over and do middle of the week interviews with the Steelers when Greg Lloyd was on the Steelers.
Okay.
I was afraid to breathe when I was in that room when Greg Lloyd was in there. I was like this, just walking around like, oh my God, I better not say anything wrong because he'll kill me dead.
Right. Yeah.
Well, who's going to say that to Harden? Listen, man, you ain't playing in the league again until you shut your, sorry, Will, fucking mouth. Right? There's no other way. I think you're right. He may be done.
Deactivated,
Ben Simmons, right?
Yeah.
Shut it down.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
We'll try to trade you. Ain't nobody taking you. Now
and
what?
The contract, or there's no return on what it will be. I mean, it's an absolute mess. I mean, it's an absolute mess for Philadelphia in the prime of Joel Embiid. I mean, you have only a finite number of years with a guy of his size to have his athletic ability before he starts breaking down and slowing down. And Ben Simmons didn't work. James Harden hasn't worked. Not good.
Are you saying JoJo is the problem?
I don't see. No, not at all. I just think his time in Philadelphia might be fleeting. You may need to blow it up and tank and start all over again.
Don't even dare say he's going to go to the Celtics.
Embiid?
There ain't no chance, right?
I mean, not by trade, maybe by free agency, but not by trade. Philly's never trading. No, they already got bamboozled and de-pantsed once. It's not happening. It's not happening twice.
It's one of my favorite words you use. No one else uses de-pantsing.
I mean, it already happened once. I mean, you want Markelle Fultz? Take Markelle Fultz. Markelle Fultz is great. We're going to take the guy who's going to turn into a top 50 player of all time while you have Markelle Fultz playing in Orlando, but that's okay. We totally, Ainge completely outmaneuvered that trade.
We're making Will work today. I feel bad.
It's okay.
Somebody said the over-under's 2.5. We're already over that.
Oh, I've said 2.5 myself.
That's what I'm saying.
We're done with that. When do the books put the win totals back up for Iowa State and Iowa?
Never.
Never? What do you mean never?
What's the purpose?
I want to bet it.
This just ain't enough people that are like you. I saw that on the rundown. I was laughing. I'm like, he really thinks that people want to bet this.
They
like
do.
You do.
I do. I want to bet over for Iowa and under for Iowa State.
Yeah, and so does every rhombus and parallelogram looking to take advantage of the. What's your number? What is your number? 2
for Iowa State? Oh my! Can you imagine?
2?
I don't. Yeah, 2.5.
If I give you 2, do you want to go under?
2, I might go under because the push potential's there. Yeah.
I mean,
I might go over. Give me 2. I might go over just because, again, a push potential's there. So I get every other number after 2 and out, 2 and above. There's only one number I can get to win.
You're gonna have to pull
Or
that
2
schedule
numbers.
up tomorrow or something, and we'll go through it because I think it's about honestly, the fair number is probably 3.5.
They're going to lose to Northern Iowa in week 1.
You've been saying that. Listen,
Okay. They're gonna
I'm going to
lose
give
Northern
you. I'm
Iowa.
going to. Carver and Lisi call it coming to the podium. When you get to come to the podium and give your TED talk, your podium time will come. You've been saying this all summer. For those of you new to the show, welcome. But we've been doing this show for 2 years now. We're on episode number like 410 or 412, something like that, coming up on 420.
You tell me, okay, when do they get their first win? At home against Northern Iowa, and Northern Iowa has a Michigan State transfer quarterback.
You have adamantly said all summer long when we've discussed this team or this gambling things that keep coming up, you said they're going to lose. So that's a loss.
Iowa at home. Cyhawk game.
They can't win that game? Don't they always win that game? No.
No, they never win that game, and they sure as hell aren't winning the game without their starting running back, starting quarterback, starting wide receiver, 2 offensive linemen, and a defensive lineman that was going to start.
Well, Perrault, just so you know, the boys in the chat, and again, this is why I love this show and you guys so much. They all have 5 as the total. It's on DraftKings right now.
It is?
No, DraftKings right now.
Iowa State numbers back up.
5 under -130. Now it's -165 on DraftKings.
Oh my, it's not up
5.
here. It's not up here. Okay.
5.
That's incredible. You tell me at Ohio.
Okay, so
they might win that game, but it's a road game in the MAC, and the Iowa State has lost before on the road at a MAC school.
FanDuel has 4.5 flat, -110.
Wow, that's great. Okay, I appreciate that. It's back up. It's not here. Books here. I was looking last night. Books haven't put it up here. I'm waiting on it.
So go ahead. So at Ohio, they can win 1. Say that's 1.
Home for Oklahoma State.
Probably not now. That was a win before, but I mean, I don't know who's playing for him. So no.
At Oklahoma.
No chance.
Home for TCU.
Most likely no.
At Cincinnati.
Is Cincinnati, what are they, 8.5, 9?
It's a road game. Iowa State's not going to Cincinnati and beating Luke Fickell's team. No.
Give me all the road games. Let's bang the road games out. Just
at Ohio.
Okay, that's 1.
At Oklahoma.
No.
At Cincinnati.
All right, I'll say no.
At Baylor.
No.
At BYU.
No.
At Kansas State.
Geez, maybe they win the second one of all those. Okay, so that's 2. Give me the home games.
Northern Iowa.
You said that's a loss. Go ahead.
Iowa.
No.
TCU.
No.
Kansas.
Maybe. We'll give them that one. Okay.
Texas.
Home? No. There's your number.
It's 5 under. If that's up, I'm betting that tonight. I'm going to Arizona and bet that tonight at DraftKings at 5. That's what it is. 4.5 is 2. I'd rather the 5. Give me the 5.
Wow. Yeah. Well, maybe
starting quarterback, running back. I mean, you start running the number of players for Iowa State who were supposed to be on this team this year. Not good.
You know, they got backups that are close to them ability.
No, they do not. That's why Iowa State's not as good as everybody else. That's the problem. Iowa State doesn't have there isn't a guy behind Hunter Deckers. You're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. You don't have players to replace them. That's why Iowa State has stunk, because they put a bunch of players, Breece Hall, into the pros. They had no one to replace them. They had a couple really good recruiting classes when Matt Campbell was the hot thing.
Fickell's at Wisconsin, by the way.
What?
Fickell is at Wisconsin.
Oh, right. Sorry. Who's the new coach of Cincinnati? The backup guy?
I have no idea right now who the coach is at Cincinnati. I just looked down and said the chat is letting you know Fickell was at Wisconsin. Sorry about that, boys. Everybody, we're doing 100 things going on at once. He said Fickell was at Cincinnati. Fickell's at Wisconsin. Everybody relax. Who's the coach at Cincinnati? Somebody tell us in the chat.
Oh, Scott Satterfield. Good.
Oh,
yeah, I'm good.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I forgot he moved there, which is good for Cincinnati. Good at Louisville, good at App State.
So Matt Campbell, coach at Iowa State,
Yes.
Good point here by Jimmy Jack with 4Ks. Matt Campbell's going to use this opportunity to show what kind of coach he is.
He's
a lot
not
of pressure on this guy, right? Whoa. What? Wait, hold on. Let me get the listening glasses. What did you say?
Okay. Matt Campbell should have taken the NFL jobs that were offered to him.
Oh boy, what are you doing?
Matt Campbell should have left Iowa State.
No. Oh God.
It's like blooms off the rose. Matt Campbell got a long contract and a lot of money for Iowa State. They're not going to fire him. Matt Campbell can put his feet up and know he's going to stick around for a bunch of years. He's not going anywhere. But if his contract was up or soon to be up, Matt Campbell would be fired after this year. Now they're not going to fire him. Yeah, this happened on his watch. It's not his fault, but it is
talking
his fault.
about. He didn't know the kids were doing all this stuff on the phones.
It's all under his watch. Okay? We're parents. Our kids, we're responsible, whether we knew it or not. Comes on us.
Well, now I hope they win 8 games.
Baloney. Ain't happening. What's Iowa's win total? If Iowa State's back up, what's Iowa's win total? Somebody go find that for me.
Rainmaker Lou just came in and said Iowa's 8 over minus 165.
Yeah, it's a good number.
8-4 Ferentz. That's what you call them.
That's what it is. 8-4 Ferentz. That's what it is. It's a good number. That's right. That's the number. I was hoping it was 7.5. Iowa might win 9. Iowa might win.
Penn State in that week 3 game.
No, they're not doing that. But Iowa could go 9-3 though. That's really possible.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Iowa's home schedule is Utah State, Western Michigan.
Hold on.
Michigan,
Utah State win.
Western Michigan
win.
Michigan State.
They'll be favored in that game. I say win.
Purdue win. Always hard, but win.
Okay.
Minnesota always hard. Win. Northwestern dead. Win. Rutgers please win.
7 home games.
Yep. Illinois win.
8 home games.
Yep.
Wait a second.
There's 4 road games this year for Iowa. That's it.
They have 8 home games. What kind of shit is that?
That's why I said bet over. I want to bet over. That's my whole point. Bet over.
Iowa get 8 home games of the 12. That's 2/3 of the schedule.
And their road games are Penn State, Wisconsin, or Iowa State, who's blown apart. Penn State, which they'll lose. Wisconsin, which is a hard game, they'll probably lose. And Nebraska.
Which they could win.
They'll beat Nebraska. They'll beat Nebraska. I'm not in on that rule yet.
Could win 10 games.
Yes. Iowa could be a 10-win football team. Yes. But they've got their own problems. JJ, I mean, they have Cade McNamara needs to be healthy. Obviously, he's important there. But their offensive line, which was a problem last year, has been fixed. And their defense, according to, I was talking to Ken Miller when Ken was here, and I said, tell me about the defense. And he said the defense might be better than last year. And you couldn't score on Iowa last year.
You did ask him that. I heard you ask him that.
Yeah. And he said over. He said bet over.
I was playing that game at Wrigley Field, that one road game at Wrigley. Whitrock said they only have 3 true road games and 1 game at Wrigley. One of those roadies is at Wrigley.
Is that Wisconsin?
Neutral.
Who is the game on the road?
Who the hell are they playing at neutral at Wrigley?
It's either Wisconsin or Nebraska, so it must be Wisconsin.
Are you good with football games in baseball stadiums?
Nope, that's at Camp Randall. Where is the game?
Whitrock, we need you, brother.
I don't
Where
think
is
that's
the
accurate.
Iowa road game at Wrigley? I don't think
Hold
so.
on, maybe because it might be the versus game, because maybe it's on here as a versus. It looks like a home game, but it's not actually
Iowa versus Northwestern.
That game. Okay, so that's okay. There it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't matter where they play that game. They could play that game in Orlando, Florida, and Iowa's winning that game. Doesn't matter.
I mean, why'd you pick Orlando, Florida?
Because it's the farthest away as I can think of away from Chicago. How farther south can you get? Miami. Go play at Miami. Go play it on the moon. I don't care. Northwestern's going to lose every game they play this year.
Go play on the moon or go play on Mars.
Anyway, Northwestern is bye-bye. You
said Orlando, Florida.
Like, whatever. Just throwing in a faraway city that they could play that. It doesn't matter. Iowa's winning that game. They're beating Northwestern.
It's the happiest place on earth in Orlando, Florida. Why would you pick there?
Now it's sports books.
Not yet.
Soon.
What a job by Will on that short.
Have to be this tall. So from the category of like, oh my gosh, no kidding, the SEC commissioner now wants to reconsider the college football playoffs. He does not think,
What?
given realignment,
Oh.
Greg Sankey said that with more change coming, that the SEC would not be reactionary to what the Big Ten has done. But he said, quote, right now, you put it in bold letters that things are going to change, period. And we are all going to have to be prepared to deal with that change, period. Then he went on to say, we need to rethink the playoff model because we had the Pac-12 in the playoff model and they're not going to be there anymore. So he said, quote, the circumstances have changed and we need to reconsider the format. I'm not convinced. We need to reconsider the number of teams. And I've been clear that I would have been okay with an 8-team playoff with no conference championship access. That wasn't, if you will, politically tenable within the group. So we have to continue to look at the models. We came up with a 6-and-6 model. But again, the circumstances have changed in a meaningful way. And my inclination is that we re-examine the current format of the college football playoffs. So we thought we were going to
possibly add to that.
The 12-team playoff is not happening. What the story is we're not doing what we thought we were going to do. The 12-team playoff is not happening. My gut tells me we go back to 8, which means get ready for 3 of the 8 teams to be from the SEC every year.
Why is it not more? Like I thought it would go to 16 before it would. You think it's going to contract?
Yes, 8. I've said 8 for literally 20 years. They will go to 8. That will be the number. And the Pac-12 going away will make a lot of people happy in the SEC because they won't have to worry about them.
Of course.
So 3 SEC champion, SEC runner-up, best team not in the playoff every year from the SEC of the 8 will be in.
It's
happening.
God, is that annoying?
Yep. It'll happen every single year. It'll happen because that's what happens when the SEC gets their way.
Can you get 3 Big Ten teams? Can there be a world where Penn State makes
6 of the
along
8
with Michigan and Ohio State?
Yes, there could be 6 of the 8. Sure, could be from the Big Ten, Pac-12, Big Ten, and the SEC. 1 from the Big 12, and then 1 from the ACC. Sure, I could see that.
The pushback from the world on if it's 3 SEC teams is going to be great. It's going to be
and
fun.
They won't care.
They don't care. They don't care. No. They don't care.
No,
absolutely not.
Not even a little bit. They don't have like, we don't care. Like, whatever.
They look right into the camera and smile and say,
yep,
we're getting 3 SEC teams. Well, don't you think that's not fair? Or don't you think that? And they just pretend like they're tone deaf and go, we're getting 3 SEC teams.
Yeah.
And you're going to come to the games and you're going to like it. You're going to
our fans are going to come to the games and our fans are going to be there. So your fans are going to be there because you, whomever, don't have a stadium like us, don't have a fan base like us, don't have a TV deal like us. So, well, the Big Ten TV deal is more valuable now than the SEC is right now.
Right
now. That'll change soon.
Are there going to be home playoff games in college football under this thing if they reconsider whatever?
Yeah. Because initially
the first round's still going to be home games.
Remember the bye? The format of the 12 team is the top 4 teams get buys.
Correct.
This would be top 8 where 1 plays 8, 2 plays 7. Home at a home field.
Okay, so at least the first round will be home.
Yeah.
And then semifinal and final will be ideally somewhere warm like right here and in Vegas. That would be great.
Oh, yeah. No, the title game being in Vegas will happen consistently. I firmly believe that.
You think so?
At Allegiant? Yeah. Yeah. So the Big Ten was kicking the tires. Yeah. I mean, Big 12's kicking. Everyone's going to want to play here. It's such a fun trip for the fans. They love it. It's perfect.
Boys and girls in the chat, this is a gift from Jay Buck. He came out to Vegas and got me this hat.
No, that's Covey.
Who this is?
It's not Covey.
This one is Jay Buck. I have Covey's. I'm gonna put that on here.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, that was the Day of the Dead one. Right.
Yeah. So this is a New Hampshire
Fisher Cat.
What's it called?
The New Hampshire Fisher Cats.
It's a big chicken.
Yeah, but it's a Fisher Cat.
It's a Fisher Cat. I don't know. It's a big chicken. I put it on because you're talking about the SEC logo. Head and reconsidering and changing everything after they sold everybody on this bullshit in the first place.
True.
And I thought, boy, oh boy, Then the teams and the schools started moving around and getting their own, making sure they get taken care of. And now they'll go, whoa. We should reconsider. We should change this. And then you read the perfect quotes, because I read that article. I was like, man, there's a lot here. You got the right meat off the bone for the show. That's why you're so good at doing this, because you've done this for a long, long time. People keep asking, what does Perrault know? What does he not know? He's a lawyer. He's a meteorologist.
Yeah.
He's a
Doctor.
broadcaster.
Doctor.
He's a chef master
and I'm also a predictor, because sorry, wrong one. That's not the right one. That's the one. We told you this was complete nonsense. Formula One has completely backtracked from their ridiculous requests to the clubs and restaurants who want to watch the F1.
Really?
From 1,500 a head to 50,000 flat. A little bit of a difference in price there.
Do you remember what I said when they said they were going to put up the walls?
Yes, let them.
I just said, you know what I would do? Remember, I leaned back and I said, I put my hands like this, get a nice cushy chair.
Yeah.
Tilt it back at a 45-degree angle. Make sure I lathered up, add some nice sunscreen on for my head. I might use a hat and I might not. And I'd sit there and say, go ahead and build the fucking wall. That's it. And now they came at them and tried to shake them all down. You will pay to see the thing. You know what they did in Vegas?
Go ahead.
Ain't paying.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go down the street, see what they say. They ain't paying either. Uh-oh. Now what do we do?
Now they're begging.
50K.
Now you're begging. And now I still would tell them to go fly a kite.
It's August, Perrault.
I told you, there's worry. There's real worry. There's major availability that week here in Vegas. They're worried. People don't care. This has been oversold, overpromised, and they've tried so desperately to do all of these money grab. And nickeling and diming of Vegas is one thing. This is straight robbery that they're trying to do with people. And it ain't flying.
CBW, big part of the show. Thank you, sir, for being here, both on the Twitter and everything. He just came in and said 33 people at $1,500 apiece is 50 dimes. Now we can actually have a discussion, because if I could get 100 people in there at $1,500 apiece, I can pay your 50,000 and I can eat. So now we're at least in the neighborhood. I'm still not sure if I'm paying, because how am I going to charge people $1,500 to watch a race?
Oh, they're not paying that either.
Hear cars going by. I don't understand. Maybe it's not. There's things that aren't for me. Definitely not. We talked about at the beginning of the show. Blue Chew's not for me right now. Formula One. Watching a race from a bar where I can hear the cars go by, but I can't really see anything. It's not for me. Maybe somebody is going to pay that. I wouldn't pay $1,500 to go watch the race from. Would you?
No, they're going to show. They're going to show the race on the Sphere. Do you know that? They're going to have a screen on. They're going to watch the race.
Are they going to show the race on TV at our houses?
Yes.
Why am I going to watch it on the Sphere?
Well, because we're at a hotel room. But that there's, starting in October, there's a 5-minute movie that will show on repeat.
Where?
On the Sphere.
Oh, this ain't good for the traffic. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I learned it yesterday. It's going to start the biggest traffic jam. Koval and Spring Mountain is going to be an absolute disaster, because people are going to park their cars and watch the movie.
No, that's what they're going to do.
Oh yeah, I think it was done by a famous actor, a famous director. It's not Jerry Bruckheimer, but a really famous director.
It's too long in 5 minutes.
On a loop. It's going to run starting in October. It's an actual full-blown movie that's going to be on the street. It's going to be a whole storytelling thing. I was like, anybody realize? Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's a full movie that's going to start next month, October 1st. It'll start, or 2 months, October 1st. It'll start. So
I drove home from UNLV yesterday, and I zipped around and zipped up there, and I was, going up Sands. I was stopped at a red light, and I took a picture of the Sphere. Just, I posted this today. like sitting in traffic and then seeing that big ass ball is just still like, as someone who lives here and has driven by it, I've driven by it. I guarantee 500 times between now and then. And that still kind of gets me like, but when the light turns green, I'm going. I got to make the light. People are going to put their car in neutral, put the blinkers on, and watch a movie. This is a bad idea, Perrault.
I saw it last night. I was like, this is going to be a disaster. I was like, they're going to have a cop 24/7 on that right there at that corner. We also learned yesterday that it may not be fully waterproof because when it rained hard, it didn't do very well. So
it might not rain again until
that's
December.
true. Yeah, that's
November.
That's true. It is time for the Circa Sports 32 teams in 31 shows pro football team of the day. Circa Sports, Dave and I, live Thursday, Friday. Million Weekend begins on Thursday. We will be upstairs in the ballroom from 11 to 1 Pacific time. Come by, say hi with us. It is open to the public. We will be there to sign up for the million, which is $6 million in prizes. The $8 million up for Survivor. That's one team per week. Can't use the same team twice. Million is 5 picks per team per week with static lines. For more information about Circa Million Weekend and Circa Survivor, go to circasports.com. Team of the day. The Seattle Seahawks are our team of the day. Last year, 9-8 rather. This year, 8.5 win total, heavily juiced, -150 to the over. Seattle has been one of the best teams in football to having a winning record. They've won at least 9 games in 10 of the last 11 seasons. It's pretty good.
Wait, say that again? They've won
in 10 of the last 11 seasons. Okay. Seattle has won at least 9 football games.
It's almost like the Steelers.
So this number, if you bet 8 under, they go 8. You're going against a pretty solid trend here.
Right.
Reason to be excited. The offense could be really good with 3 wide receivers, and the division is absolutely awful.
Okay.
You have both the Rams and the Cardinals should be 4 wins for Seattle.
Whoa.
4. Rams are going to be really bad. Arizona's going to be awful. Reason to be concerned. Seattle will travel the most miles out of any team in the NFL this year, over 31,000 miles.
Don't they normally do that, though? They are removed from a lot of teams. They travel. They have to play the teams in AFC East and stuff.
Yeah.
They travel a lot. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
End of the schedule is pretty tough, and Jackson Smith and Jigba just had wrist surgery. So that's not great for their first round pick.
Did he do something in camp or just recently, or this was from
I think he got hurt in camp. So he has surgery. So we'll see how long he's going to be out. I didn't see how long he's out.
So before we put the schedule up, everyone in the chat right now, because we just got an influx of people, and again, I don't know why, but this second hour, people come in and watch the show. Thank you again. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button while you're here. Seattle Seahawks, without seeing the schedule, over or under 8.5.
Broken bone in his wrist, by the way. He'll be ready for the start of the year.
Oh, okay.
He suffered it during the
mofo, man.
He suffered it during the game against Dallas. He was tackled near the goal line, highlight reel catch, but he broke a bone in his wrist doing it.
I got to reach out to his mom, say hi. I hope everything's okay, because there's the baseball player's son got sent down. He's been in AAA for a long, long time, but this got to be so exciting for her.
Sure.
Under-ish, over, lunchtime, West Coast. I mean, Mr. C don't even follow directions. What are you doing, Chris?
You asked why we had an influx of people coming in right now. That's why he's answering.
Oh, that's why?
Yes.
Lunchtime, West Coast.
Don't even remember the questions you ask.
Do you think people come in and watch us on their lunch break?
Sure. Yeah.
Under. Wow. There's more unders than I thought. My first blush, over.
All
right, hit us with it. Let's go.
Here's your schedule. They open with that's not their schedule. Sorry, that's just their
Steelers schedule.
This is the schedule. Sorry. Open with the Rams.
Win.
Agreed. At Detroit.
Lose. Oh, you're torn. You think they can go on the road and win that game?
Yeah.
Detroit home opener, baby? Come on.
Is that home? Is that it? Because they play
I'm
the Chiefs.
assuming it
They
is,
play the Chiefs in
right?
week 1 on Thursday. Yeah, Chiefs have a long week. Detroit has a long prep time because they play Thursday to open against the Chiefs.
Detroit's
So
winning
yeah,
that game.
I'll
Come
give you that.
on,
1-1. Home for Carolina
win 2.
at New York, but it's Monday Night Football.
No, lose.
I like that win. It's late time. It's good West Coast time start. Bye week 5 is really early. I have it as a 3-1 start for
Where
Seattle.
is your ideal bye week if you're a football team? Where do you want it?
10?
I was going to say 9 or 10, right?
Yeah,
That's
right in the middle.
Perfect spot.
Yeah,
Right
yeah,
in the
yeah.
middle.
You want it 10. You don't want it
Right
week
in
5
the middle.
because look at after week 5. Look at me. I mean, you're playing so many games.
Right.
You're playing 13 games after your bye. That's hard. At Cincinnati.
Mr. C's giving blood right now, listening to us.
What's
this might be
up?
our first blood donor giving
Very
blood
cool.
platelets while he's watching the show. Thank you, Mr. C, for your service. Go
At
ahead.
Cincinnati.
Nope.
Home for Arizona.
Yes. 3.
4-2 start. Home for Cleveland.
Hell yes. 4.
5-2. At Baltimore.
No, sir.
Home for Washington.
Yes, sir. 5.
I have 6. At the Rams.
They'll split that. They'll lose that game. They're supposed to win that game, and they'll go there and lose. 5.
Okay, I have 7. Home for San Francisco.
Oh, for sure. They somehow will win that game. 6.
Loss. At Dallas.
No, sir.
At San Francisco.
No, sir.
Home for Philadelphia.
Oh, they will win that game. That'll take down some survivors. Philly will still be live.
Okay.
That's 7.
I have 7. At Tennessee.
They'll go and win that game when they ain't supposed to. Christmas
8.
Eve. 8.
Yep. I have 8. At Arizona. Sorry, no. So home for Pittsburgh.
I think they win that game. 9.
Home for Arizona.
At Arizona.
Sorry. At Arizona. Sorry. At Arizona.
10, most likely. I think that's where we fall.
10-7. Yep. I agree.
10.
And the ceiling is high. The ceiling could be 12 wins.
I think we just nailed this.
The low could be 8 or 7.
See, I think the low is 8.
Okay.
I think the low is 8, 8 and 9.
Why it's 8.5 minus 150. The books just don't want to go to 9.5. They don't want to go to that number.
Wow. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Guys, you watching the show, you think you change your mind? I mean, that looks like an over to.
Yeah, that's an over game. That's an over for me. That's over for sure. Time for the Brigade Proxy. Ooh, no, I forgot about doing that. 2 days in a row. 2 days in a row. 2 days in a row. I forgot about my fun. Sorry. Brigade Proxy NFL story of the day. If you guys want to use us for the proxy service, our text line is 702-570-8255. Now, one caveat. We are going to be at Circa for most of the day Thursday, most of the day Friday, and probably Saturday as well.
Oh, Saturday's going to be there a long time because they're doing that football thing of the moderators and all that stuff. I'll be there all day Saturday.
Okay, so you may be. I won't be there all day, but you may be there all day. So we're going to we'll have someone on site for those 3 days.
Yep.
You can just show up and text us and say, "Hey, I'm here," and we'll go
100%
and take care of it. The only time we can't do it is 11 until 1 because we're on the air. So
we're doing a show.
That's it. So come upstairs, say hi, hang out, watch the show, come on the show, and then we'll take you down and get you all signed up and good to go there. I wonder if they're going to have signups upstairs where we're going to be. They had a book.
I would say no. They do have a book there, and so there's a place to keep the money. The problem is a lot of times they got to make sure there's surveillance. There's got to make sure everything is active and live.
Okay.
So to open an auxiliary book, a lot of times you have to run it through gaming and let them know you're going to have a place of business that's not your book, because that's where pickup and drop-offs could be done.
Right.
If they weren't being monitored and stuff. So I don't know. Actually, Aaron just sent me a text about something else. I will find that out, and we will know by showtime tomorrow whether we'll be able to just literally walk from outside that ballroom right to that counter and sign you up. If not, we'll take an escalator ride down 2 floors, and we'll sign you up at the counter. It's no problem.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
The Colts have okayed Jonathan Taylor to go out there and seek a trade and get a trade done. Can you believe this?
No, actually, Gabe and Cam hit me with this at the beginning of the show yesterday with them, and I was like, who said okay to this? The Colts did.
Yeah. Colts
The
said, go
running
find.
back position has been completely, what's your word, de-pantsed?
Correct. Yes.
There's nothing left to it. This is one of the best guys. And the Colts are trying to win more than 6.5 games. They're trying to make the playoffs. Apparently, they don't need him to do it.
Yeah, it's a mess. I mean, this is a mess right now.
Is this a case of though, like the Harden thing? Where Colts okay to Taylor, say okay to Taylor to seek a trade. Okay. Well, yeah, we're going to trade you. And then behind closed doors, they're going,
very possible.
tried.
Yeah, no, it's very possible. But like they said he was hurt and he's like, I'm not hurt. And he's like, okay, now he left. He came back. It's like, if I'm a Colt fan, I'm going, wait a minute. We have a really young quarterback, first round pick guy who needs to hand the ball off. He can't be asked to throw the ball 30 times a game. We're going to lose every game we play if that happens. You need Jonathan Taylor, and Jonathan Taylor's like, I'm not playing for what you're offering. I can't wait to see what the trade market is, because it's really late in camp.
What it is nothing.
I don't know if it's nothing.
Somebody's going to come with. Well, they're going to come with an embarrassing offer. I'll give you a fifth-round pick for him.
Fine. Yes. Yes.
To see how bad the Colts want to trade him, which they're going to go, we're not trading for a fifth-round pick. He's the number one pick. He led the league in rushing and blah, 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 blah. And they go, okay, well, then keep him because he don't want to play for you.
Yeah. So the article on ESPN.com reads as the following. Much of it is from Adam Schefter. The Colts will be seeking significant trade compensation for Taylor. The team is looking for a first-round pick or a collection of picks that equals to a first-round pick. While no offer had materialized as of Monday evening, the teams are weighing what fair value looks like for a potential deal for Taylor, the 2021 NFL rushing champion. Additionally, interested teams need to consider whether they're willing to sign Taylor to a contract extension that he is seeking. The parties involved are looking to settle a 3-week standoff that began when Taylor reported to training camp on the 20th of July. Taylor, entering the final year of his rookie contract, has been long seeking a long-term contract extension. 24 years old. Got a lot of miles left to go.
Maybe.
No, he's got 2 or 3 good seasons
maybe he's
left.
Rashard Mendenhall, where he says, I don't need this shit. I'm done.
Maybe he walks. Yeah, that's possible.
I like my body working.
3,000
doing this.
3,841 rushing yards in 3 years. 18 rushing touchdowns in 2021. He ran for 1,800 yards that year.
What more you got to do?
He's 24. He's young. He's got a lot of football left.
They age so quickly, though.
26, 27. He's still going to be, my gosh.
You're one play away from having to go get a job every play.
Yeah, but that's the NFL. Everyone's like that.
I know, but that's why you got to make sure, one, you're using your body to the best of its ability for a team that's trying.
Right.
This is a debate I used to have with guys in a book. Like, how do guys go? You got to get so mentally right to go do your job as a professional athlete on a team like in baseball that's going to lose 100 games.
Right.
That's hard enough, right? How about going to play hockey for the worst hockey team in the league and physically get abused every game and lose? Now that much harder. Take it to the NFL level. How do you go and get just beat the crap up running with behind an offensive line of guys that are, maybe a notch below these other teams, which is why your team isn't good. You have inferior coaching, in your opinion, and their answer is keep giving you the ball. I got to drive to the practice facility thinking, man, my body hurts, and we're going to win 4 games. Like, that's why I admire those guys, those professional athletes like that, but they're pushing back. A guy like Taylor's pushing back, and he's got an owner who, the guys in the chat, we got a lot of Indiana people that are Colts fans that are saying the craziest stuff about Irsay. It's hard. I don't think do you think he's up on another team? Before the season, I don't think there's a chance in hell, because it's only 3 weeks away.
Yeah, I
2.5.
think they're asking for too much. It's just weird though. They won't give him a contract extension, but they want a first round pick. Like, which is it? Like, is he really valuable or not? Like, which is it?
Oh, don't get me started on the value thing.
All right, is he valuable or not? That's my problem.
Please.
So that's the issue with that, in my opinion.
Everybody's always trying to find value.
True. Time for better to book it. Better to book it time. 2-1 yesterday on this segment.
Yeah,
so we
good
were
calls.
gonna
We
get
had a couple good calls, and then we had the Cubs, which was the other one that we talked about. So
Yeah.
technically, the show, if you watch the show,
3-1.
you gave 3-1. Thanks for watching the show.
Totals Tuesday today is what today is.
I love that.
Ready for Totals Tuesday? We're going under 8.5. Orioles, Blue Jays.
Under 8.5. Orioles, Blue Jays.
Kikuchi's been bonkers.
Been great. Let's see. And Rodriguez, 8 is the
Been very
number.
I got 8.5 last night.
Good for you. All right. We're going under 8.5 then?
Yep.
That's the number. All right. Good. Bet it.
Bet that.
Yep.
We're going Mets Braves over 10.5. We got that yesterday. We're going right back to the well with it here.
Is there a stop sign number for you? Would it be 11?
Yes.
Oh, half the books are at 11.
Oh, wow. Good. I'm on the right side of 2 bets today.
Yeah. So, yeah, half the books are at 11. The other ones are at 10, over -20 or over -1/4. Bet it.
Okay.
Stick with what works. Worked yesterday, work again today.
And finally, Dodgers Guardians. We're going over 9 with the number 1 team on the road in baseball against Noah Syndergaard, who might get lit up like a Christmas tree. I would have rather bet Dodger team total, but no one had Dodger team total last night, so I had no choice. But Dodger, the better bet in this game, if you haven't made it yet, the better bet is Dodgers team total.
Yeah, this is the one that I'm hesitant on. I'm gonna say book this one only because you just talked yourself into the right bet. The right bet is the Dodgers team total over.
But the books won't put that up over.
Guardians might only get 2 runs.
Today. Not Caesars. Nobody in Vegas puts it up team total overnight. Nobody.
It's a lot of work.
Bastards. Put it up on the East Coast. Don't put it up on ours. Even the automated books here don't even do that. Pisses me off. Make my life a lot easier.
What are you doing?
I'm kidding.
Don't do that. Oh my god.
I'm kidding.
All right. Man.
Book it.
I'm gonna book it.
What's the number? What's the number now?
Half 8. Hit refresh. No, there's only 1-9 left.
Down or up?
8.5.
Down. Interesting.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Dodgers. Okay, we wrap the whole show here. Favorite thing about today is what?
Oh, we're not gonna have bonus time today. You just said we were gonna have bonus time before.
Do you have chats to? Do you have things to read?
Do I have things to read? Now you put the pressure on me. No, I think I read them, didn't I?
Yeah, you read them all.
So we caught up. Well, let's give the people an opportunity right now. If you have something you want to leave it in the super chat or you have a question, we'll do BVB bonus time. If not, we're doing favorite thing about today. So you have about 3 minutes if you're watching the show to come with a question and a super chat question. If not, my favorite thing about today is that the Billy Walters book came out today. And there's a lot of people talking about it. There's a lot of people talking about how to bet, what Billy did, telling stories. It's okay now to tell all the stories that we were unable to tell. It's okay to talk about being a professional bettor, a money mover, a bookie, on all this stuff. And I am going right from here down to a local bookstore that I met at Bet Bash to go pick it up.
Can I interrupt real fast?
Please do.
This is important.
Yes.
Sebastian, you can't tell us what to talk about. The idea is in a super chat. So that's like give us $1 and we'll talk about it. That's what the point of a super chat is.
Talk
FYI.
about Saturday.
You just can't say we're not saying blurt it out. We're not saying just blurt it out. We're saying if you do a super, you don't have to do it. But if you do it, we'll talk about it. So just FYI, we're not asking you guys to just list topics. Like the point is super chat, then we'll do it. So anyways, continue. Yes. Going to get
yeah. Put it in the super chat. There's a button on the bottom with the right hand corner. You hit that and then it pops up in different colors and whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But yes, so my favorite thing about today is that this book is going to spark conversations, stories, ideas, different things, people that hopefully I'm able to quote unquote identify.
Oh,
I saw an excerpt from the book about Billy and Floyd Mayweather partnering for a day and why and how that ended. And I believe I was working in the book the day it might have ended.
Mm.
I can't wait to hear the exact story if it's in there, because I remember that day and I remember what I said, and I'll put that in my book someday when that comes. But oh wow, Mr. C, tell a story about Billy or a beard that crossed your path, please. Stay tuned for bonus time. I guess we're gonna have bonus time, Perrault.
All right.
There you go.
We'll go to bonus time on the other
That's
side.
fun.
My favorite thing
Keep
about
'em
today
coming.
is that we get to go ahead and do that. Let's go do bonus time. It's a lot of fun for you guys on Sports Grid. Thank you for watching. If you ever want to see the show live at Boston versus the Book on Twitter, you can see the bonus time. You can see the live chat as well. Time for bonus time with BVB. Okay. So what is the story we get to tell?
So part of the problem that Billy faced was getting money down significantly. And he couldn't do it because despite the fact that he's in this Sports Gambling Hall of Fame and shaking hands with a lot of the bookmakers in Vegas that probably couldn't stand his guts or were trying to figure out how to keep his money that he bet or get on his side. It was a very precarious relationship. He had to have what was called beards, which is someone betting for him. And I don't know if you could get this job on LinkedIn. I don't think there's anywhere you could put on a resume or go to a master's program to get the job to be a runner for Billy or a beard or a money mover or whatever you want to call it. So the quality of the people over the years was very interesting. And a lot of times they would pretend like they weren't people bearding for Billy because it was advantageous to Billy to make that relationship not known, and some whale customer who happened to be from a southern state somewhere would come in and ask to bet you $100,000 a game. August was one of my favorite times of the year, not just because it's my birthday and the kids are going back to school and football's coming, but it was from so many times of guys coming to the book from different places, whether it be Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida, Louisiana, a lot of places down there where there's just some big time gamblers that love to bet college football, especially the totals. What are your limits, Dave? What are you guys taking on a game? I used to sit back and have these discussions and then walk away from the counter thinking they were going to be able to bet double and triple the limit, going, that's one of his guys. Guaranteed. The cat and mouse of August was awesome. And a lot of the names will remain nameless, but I've seen couples, I've seen young guys, I've seen old guys. They would always front as car dealers, car dealerships, a lot of them. That's a good business to be in and want to be a professional bettor. Some bar owners, strip club owner, title shots, a lot of cash, a lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot of I can't wait to read the book, and I'll have hopefully some more stories that will be able to be told. Right now, I can't, Mr. C, actually specifically, but identifying the runners were great. And I told Perrault a story yesterday or the day before about a time that a runner got a little too aggressive with the plays, meaning he not only bet them for his guy, but he bet them for himself. And he became the wrong side. There was a right side guy and a wrong side guy. And the wrong side guy didn't know he was the wrong side guy. He thought he was the right side guy. So watching that turn was interesting. And I remember the day that one did while I was still at the Golden Nugget. And I told the guys upstairs, we were in the back at that time, He don't even know. He's getting the fake place. Don't move it. How do you know? I'm like, watch the screen. Don't move it. See if anyone else is playing it.
Right.
Because when you get to play first, you control the market. That's what these people that, run these Euro models, they don't understand. I want all the plays. I want them all, and I want them first. Oh, wow.
Well,
I just scrolled down. I missed this one. We got another one from Crunchy Beaver.
okay.
What's Matt's opinion on my favorite team, the Oregon State Beavers? Crunchy Beaver.
What's my opinion on the Oregon State Beavers? I don't really have one. They're going to
Have
be
you heard about this team? This is one of the
big.
the
I mean, they're
Robinson's
supposed.
parallelogram boost. This is an overplay. Season wins.
Yeah, I mean,
Have you heard this? No.
I have. They're ranked. They're ranked preseason. I mean, there's a lot of people who really think they're going to be good. They won 10 games last year, first time since 2006.
Right.
They play San Jose State, UC Davis, San Diego State. They have home games with Utah and Washington. They don't play USC. They have to travel to Oregon to take on the Ducks, but I mean, they have a redshirt sophomore quarterback. I mean, my opinion is that they're going to be probably a middle of the road type of team.
What's their season wins right now?
I mean, DJU is on this team.
Is that good or bad?
That's bad. That's not good. It's not good.
Not good.
It's not good. That guy.
Come
No,
on.
it's not good because that guy's not good.
Not nice.
So, one
Oregon
quick thing.
State season wins 8.5 under -152 at FanDuel. My first blush is over, but what do I know?
Oh, wow. Max Verstappen could be prosecuted for the video of him driving his Aston Martin Valkyrie at 124 kilometers,
Is that fast?
34 kilometers over the speed limit. He keeps to the left-hand lane, which is forbidden under the highway code of where he was driving. I mean, they do realize that this guy drives for a living and drives 200 miles an hour.
But not on the regular streets. Like, if you're somebody with him, don't you go turn the camera off, Max? See?
He's driving that. If I was driving that, I might drive it that fast too.
Whoa.
It's a legit Batman
Can
car.
you take it to a place where you're allowed to drive it that fast or no?
Yeah, it's called his job. That's where he drives.
Take it to the track.
That's where he drives. It's his job. I just saw, this is kind of interesting. I mean, just to give you an idea of how many. So it currently is the 22nd of August, right?
Correct.
September the 7th is the the 9th is the deadline.
Of
Signups for the contest for Circa.
that's the Saturday.
Yeah.
Can we please not sign people up
No.
from
No.
the 6th on?
Once the 7th hits, once that Thursday night
Yeah,
kicks off,
we're gonna let them other people have them
Yeah,
on the
they can
7th
have
and the
them. We're
8th,
done.
like ideally.
unless we've already
Thursday the
booked you.
7th. I mean, we'll try.
Yeah,
But
and then that's
like,
it.
I don't want to bother all the people at the book. Like,
Yeah.
me and you might have to shut it down. But we'll talk to you.
Right. Or help you in some other
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Meet you at Tuscany or something, do something.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry I interrupted.
No, it's fine. As of this morning, there were 2,255 signups for millions.
2,400 and what?
2,255
For millions. Yep.
for millions,
Yep.
and 3,947 entries for Survivor.
Okay, so it's a little bit behind 2-1. Okay, or ahead of 2-1. Okay.
Well, if we get to the number, which I think it's going to be 10 and 5,
Okay.
that would mean 6,000 entries are coming and 2,200 plus are coming for millions
Oh.
between now and that date. So to just give you an idea of how crazy
Perrault,
this
that's a
might
lot
be.
of people. I'm
It's a
just
lot
I'm
of
starting to get a
entries.
little bit. Did you see my eye flutter? I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, what does that mean? That's a lot of people. Why is he
Lot
saying
of
that right
people
now?
about
I
to
was doing
come
the
to
math
town.
in my head. I was like, oh,
Yeah, it's going to be absolute, complete, and utter chaos this coming Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I say that because please, if you're going to come to the Million Weekend and you're going to look for a proxy and you'd like to use us, please tell us ahead of time. Because my guess is that starting tomorrow, we're going to start to get buzz. And we're going to
listen,
structure
man,
our
I love
time.
doing it at night.
Yeah, I do too.
Like
It's easy.
I mean, it's easy and they're great. It's less headache.
Can,
Mr. C came in with another
yeah.
super
So
chat.
can Dave
My
trademark?
term artificial steam.
I like that.
That's good.
Fake move. It's a fake
Artificial
move.
steam.
Fake move. Yeah, I like it.
Oh, that's what he said me. He sent me that text yesterday about the Cubs.
It's a
And
fake
he
move.
said it's artificial steam. I said, yeah.
Fake move.
Now I know exactly what it is. It's the head fakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just watch the
Yeah.
screen.
Same difference. So, guys, like, subscribe, leave a review, anything you can do to help push that algorithm up. We really would appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. That was our first time. If you guys like doing that with bonus time, we'll do that a lot. We'll have a little bonus story time after
Yeah,
the show
we
on
could do
Sports
that.
Grid is over and wrapped up. We could have any day now. We could have an announcement to make once we get the blessing. We got a really cool thing cooking that we'll tell you guys coming up here in hopefully a day or two. I know we've been teasing it for a while, but tomorrow, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, live from Circa Sports in downtown Las Vegas, back to the Circa. Will be a lot of fun. Dave and Matt.
Oh, Addison reminding everybody, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're watching the show on YouTube, please leave a comment. And also go leave a comment on the clips for Minty and Mac so they understand what this Brigade thing is, because they both commented to me like, wow, your audience is really active or engages a lot. And I was like, you ain't seen nothing yet. So do that.